Hello, folks. We have a ceasefire going on. Lord alone knows how long it will last. But I thought I'd take a moment to look back and talk about why we have this new round of conflict, and also what may come of it. In an earlier video, I talked about the Palestinian Authority supposedly having a new parliamentary election, and I said that I was sure it would not happen. I was right. Hamas faced an electoral loss, and their leadership was risking losing their military control over the entire Gaza Strip in exchange for a minority place in the Palestinian parliament, while Fatah was at risk of factions splintering from the main party, weakening their grip on power. On April 29th, Hamas refused to attend a scheduled leadership meeting, claiming that Fatah would postpone or cancel the election. President Abbas later did, but given that Hamas controls the entire Gaza Strip under military dictatorship, it would be impossible to really have an election without them, so it's hard to say which really caused which. This political instability added to an already tense atmosphere, which exploded into mass rioting all across Israel. Over 1,000 Jewish homes and synagogues were looted and burned, hundreds of cars set on fire, and over 5,000 cases of stone throwing against Jews. Now, in this context of communal violence, Israeli police clashed with Arabs at the al-aqsa mosque. So rather than engage in a political process with their rival Fatah, the Hamas leadership decided to seize on this as a pretext and begin another conflict, incidentally returning to Hamas's roots as a terrorist gang, hoping they could take advantage of the violence to gain power in Judea and Samaria in addition to Gaza. They hoped that by casting themselves as defiant enemies of Israel, they could gain support from Arabs upset at Fatah's corruption. It worked for them when they were first starting out, anyway. Now, to succeed at this, Hamas has been forced to walk a narrow line, because any conflict with Israel will cost them in lives, money, munitions, and any clear defeat would only embarrass them, actually losing them influence among Palestinians. So while Hamas, in addition to other terrorist gangs in Gaza, have been attacking Israel with thousands of rockets, they have simultaneously been telling Palestinians that they will fight to the bitter end, and crying out to the international community to restrain Israel from further responding to their attacks. The question you may be thinking now is it working? I think it's too early to say. Militarily, Israel has completely dominated Hamas, Islamic Jihad et al., but Palestinian terror groups have always relied mostly on external political pressure to defeat Israel. This ceasefire will probably break down, and it won't know until after the next round of violence who the quote-unquote winner will be. Actually, the odds of anyone coming out the winner in this situation is kind of low. But there is another factor that maybe Hamas leadership didn't think about. Because Bibi Netanyahu is widely perceived as almost personifying the opposition to Palestinian terror. This conflict may give him the boost he needs to win in the next election. Communal violence always drives Israelis to the right, and that is true now, to the point that Bibi Netanyahu has explicitly stated that reconquering Gaza, is considered an option at this point. I'll talk more about that in a subsequent video. So, now we're stuck in the limbo of a ceasefire, waiting for it to break down. Now, obviously, I am not unbiased. I am a protagonist in an ongoing ethnic, religious conflict. So, everything I say is said from a very particular point of view. Now, as far as I know, everything I have said is factually true. But if you think that I've said something wrong, or I've miscast or misrepresented something, please let me know. Comment below. Start a conversation. Because the only way to avoid a war is to actually talk with each other. And I'm sure everyone will agree that we would far rather resolve our problems without a war. So thanks for tuning in, and have a good day, and God bless.